I'm sorry in advance if you don't understand my English. I try to improve every day, but it's difficult for me. I am 29 years old, and I have been with my partner for 12 years now. Ever since we got together, his mother has made it clear that she hates me. I never understood the reason, but I think it is out of jealousy, given that before me, he was a complete mama's boy. My partner proposed to me when we discovered that I was 3 months pregnant, and of course, I said yes. I was very excited and quickly began the preparations. I hired a wedding planner, and from there, everything went wrong. My mother-in-law told everyone that I was a bad woman for not taking care of my own wedding and that I was tying up her son with a pregnancy. She planted in everyone's mind that I was a lazy and irresponsible woman. We have a shared savings account and have been able to save a lot over the years, so we both paid for the wedding since we have been together for so long. We always said that if we ever separated, we would split the account in half. Now that we were going to get married and have a baby, we used it for planning. However, my mother-in-law insisted that the tradition is for the bride's father to pay for the wedding. Since I don't have a father, she argued that I should take care of the expenses. My fiancé told her that this idea was stupid and that she should stay out of our finances. He made it clear that he wasn't asking her for money. Despite my boyfriend threatening not to invite her to the wedding, my mother-in-law continued making comments like that. Everything collapsed when I tried some dishes from the banquet and realized that they contained nuts and other ingredients to which I am allergic to, even though I swear I had reported my allergies to the coordinator. I ended up in the emergency room, but luckily nothing happened to my baby. My boyfriend asked the organizer for an explanation, and it turns out he never received my list of allergies. We communicated by email, and we kept everything saved on a document containing all that information before we sent it to the coordinator, but when the coordinator got the document, it was missing all the things I was allergic to. My husband has the document saved on his mother's computer, which was our old computer. My husband didn't hesitate and immediately accused her of it. He also told her that he no longer wanted to have any contact with her. As for me, I began to rethink my entire situation. He has already said the same words to his mother before, but eventually brings her back into our lives. I can't trust his words. I don't plan to risk it again, especially not with my baby. It was clear to me that she didn't care that she could have put her grandson's life at risk. I love him with all my heart, but right now, I have more love for my son and also fear of his mother. Little by little, I started canceling things, and when it came time to return certain deposits, I put them in the savings account. My partner did not realize this fact until he went to the place where we had ordered the cake to ensure the ingredients and discovered my cancellations. He called and asked why I had canceled it, and I asked to meet up instead, and so we did. I told him that I no longer felt safe about getting married, that I loved him, but I didn't feel secure about being close to his family, and that I wouldn't marry him but wanted him to be a part of our baby's life. He assured me that he was willing to stay away from everyone for both of us, but I couldn't believe him. He had already said it before, and a few months later, we were back to the same situation. I remained firm with my decision and returned the ring. I also showed him everything I could return to the shared account, explaining that what they would not refund I deducted from my part, and I had already divided our money, taking out my share. It's been a week, and I'm devastated, and of course, he is too. Our mutual friends have told me that some think I did the right thing, while others say I was miserable. I am only looking out for the health and well-being of my baby and myself. His mother started spreading the rumor that it was my ex who broke up with me when she discovered that my son was not hers, and as a result, I have received comments calling me some really nasty and derogatory names. Edit. I'll share 3 instances of what my mother-in-law did, how my ex reacted, and how long it took for him to let her back into our lives. These events will not follow chronological order, but rather from least serious to most serious. First, my mother-in-law paid a mutual acquaintance of mine to tell my boyfriend that I was cheating on him. She took advantage of the fact that I was visiting my native country, Chile, for national holidays. Initially, my boyfriend believed the friend, but when he asked for strong evidence and they had nothing, they had to change their strategy, claiming that I had forced them to eliminate everything. When I returned, my boyfriend didn't say anything to me for a month. During that time, he acted strange, was controlling, and even checked my phone. This was the final straw, and I asked him for explanations. He didn't want to provide any, but his sister told me everything. Due to the mistrust, I broke up with him and didn't speak to him again for 6 months. After he apologized to me and showed that he had kept his mother and my friend away from him, we got back together. Almost 4 months later, he told me that his mother had apologized to both him and me and wanted us to visit her. I never received a direct apology, she only apologized to her son. Second, a few years ago, I had an accident that left me with a scar resembling a cesarean section scar. One day at her house, we went into the pool and she saw my scar. From that point on, she kept insisting that I had a son. She asked, where was my son, and suggested, surely you abandoned him. She even went so far as to say, surely he belonged to a married man, and that's why you didn't say anything. Now you want to turn my poor son into a stepfather. Despite my explanations, she kept pushing her accusations, and feeling frustrated, I left her house. My boyfriend later told me that I was rude for leaving his mother talking to herself. I then told him that if he wasn't going to defend me, it would be better for us to break up. Although he didn't want to end things, he eventually spoke to his mother to stop her from spreading false accusations, but she had already told everyone that I was a dirty woman trying to make her son a stepfather. My boyfriend claimed he stopped talking to his mother, but 2 weeks later, when I returned from work, he was in the bathroom, and his mother was rummaging through my drawers. When I confronted her, she demanded to see photos of my son. I told her to leave, and she started swinging at me. My boyfriend emerged from the bathroom and witnessed his mother calling me a number of derogatory names while getting physical with me. He eventually kicked his mother out of the house. A month passed, and out of nowhere, he told me to get ready, saying, "Let's go out." When I asked where we were going, he said to a restaurant to celebrate his mother's birthday. And lastly, this incident occurred when we were together for 2 years. I had shared several occasions at his mother's house, but never for Christmas. During that dinner, each dish contained 1 or 2 ingredients that triggered my allergies. I couldn't eat anything, and I practically had to force myself not to eat. Fortunately, I realized it before trying anything, just before putting the food in my mouth. She was aware of my allergies, but she pretended not to know. My boyfriend supported me that time and left the dinner with me. The next day, his mother went to his house complaining about why he left. It was the first time my mother-in-law confessed that she had never loved me, that she hated me, and she admitted that she did it with the intention of seeing if I would get a reaction. My partner kicked her out of the house and didn't speak to her again for an entire year. Later on, the lady faked that she had a heart attack and he allowed her back into his life. I found out years later that it was fake because my sister-in-law told me. Update 1. Thank you everyone for your comments and advice. It's been almost 2 months since my mother-in-law tried to poison me while I was pregnant with her grandson, and a few things have happened. My mother-in-law continued to spread rumors that I cheated on her son and that my baby was not her grandson. I was fed up, and I asked my ex to come forward and refute everything his mother said, but he didn't do it. On the contrary, he told me, "Let's do a DNA test so that my mother will stay silent." I told him that I would not cater to her demands, and that if he wasn't going to defend me and his son, he'd better not even consider himself the father of my baby. Not even this made him react, so I blocked him and decided to consult with a lawyer regarding the issues of custody and parental rights. After that discussion, I had a really calm couple of days. The accusations simply stopped, and many people who were accusing me apologized. For a moment, I believed that my ex had come to his senses and defended me. However, the peace ended quickly. Last week, my mother-in-law entered my apartment, where she had previously lived with her son before we separated. She entered without my permission, and I don't know how or when, but she had a key. She stole my baby's ultrasounds and all my medical records from my house. Fortunately, I caught her just as she was running away from my apartment. I confronted her, and she tried to justify her actions by claiming that the ultrasounds also belonged to her son. When I asked her to return what she had taken from my house, she started yelling at me, saying I was taking her grandson away from her. I reminded her that she had tried to unalive her grandson and had disowned him. That's when the confrontation turned physical, and my neighbors came out when they heard the screams and defended me. One of them called the police soon after. I reported her for the burglary and physical altercation, and I also tried to report her for the poisoning. When they arrested her, they discovered that she had also stolen my passport and money. She tried to justify her actions by saying she was afraid that I would flee the country with her grandson. After that scandal, my ex came to my apartment, complaining about me reporting his mother. He also tried to get physical with me, but at that moment, his sister and brother-in-law were there, and they defended me. Before this, he had outbursts before, but he had never tried to harm me. I must say that my sister-in-law has always been and is very kind to me. She was the one who always defended me, the one who set limits for her mother, and it was her who spoke to every person who accused me of doing immoral acts and explained to them what my mother-in-law did to me. With everything that happened, I no longer felt safe in my apartment. So, I made the decision to return to my native country before my baby is born. While I gather all the necessary things and receive the discharge from my doctor, I'm staying at my sister-in-law's and her partner's house. Regarding the legal issue, I must say that I am considering not continuing with the complaint. Given that this takes time, and I am already almost 6 months pregnant, my possibilities of leaving before my daughter is born are being limited.